Getting live.
Hello everyone, today. Quick intro there. Today we are reviewing the new episode of Doctor Who, Extremis. Or however you pronounce it, I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is Extremis though. It's not Extremis, it's Extremis. Anyway, so the new episode came out today. So what do I think about it? It's Stephen Moffat's first episode since the pilot, so interesting anyway. So what did I think of it? I'm really I don't want to jump to the straight thing of the fact that I loved it. I did love it. I think it was brilliant. Apart from one thing, it's the first episode in a while that's made me like go, I'm gonna have to watch this again because I really don't understand it. I do sort of understand it, but not fully to the extent I should. Stephen Moffat has really went out on a limb here to like play with everyone's minds who are watching this. It's ridiculous. It is really, 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 really complicated, and it's like Inception level of complication. Like you have to watch it more than once. I'm still a bit confused to what happened. But anyway, I'll try and explain the best I can. So there's two storylines in this one. It's really weird. So the first main storyline is the Pope coming to Britain, and he's going, "Oh well, Doctor, we've had you recommended from one of the popes back in like 1,000 years ago, and we need you to come to the Vatican, and we need you to have a look at this book that everyone who's read it has killed himself." So he's like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come and read that book even though I'm blind," and he goes over there, does that. He brings Nardole and Bill over, takes them there. They have a bit of a walkabout, talking about that sort of thing in the library. When the Doctor tries to read the book, these weird monks appear, and they try and it's weird. They try and stop him from reading the book. I think it is. They take the book off him, but he takes a laptop with a translation on it. He runs off. Meanwhile, Bill and Nardole are casually wandering around. They find this weird projection portal. They walk through it, and then they find themselves in a like Mario Brothers style warp room, where they go through another portal and find themselves. I think it's the Hadron Collider. Did I got that right? They go to that headquarters, and everyone there has read the book, and they're all about to kill themselves. We still don't know what's in the book yet. We still don't know what's actually there. But Bill's very confused. They do this weird number game thing where they all predict the same number at exactly the same time. Very weird, very confusing. They go back into the portal room, and Nardole thinks that the whole world is a projection. And he's like, well, I hope I'm not right, but in case I am, I'm going to test this theory. Stands outside of the light of the projector and becomes a virtualized just mess of atoms. He just sort of gets scattered and pretty much dies in a way. Bill's like, what just happened? So she walked through another portal to find the Doctor sitting in the Oval Office, which I presume is a reused set from Day of the Moon. Maybe not. Maybe they kept it. I don't know. The President's dead in the chair after reading the book, and the Doctor's read the book and he understands what it is. And the whole world that they are living in is a weird simulation thing. I don't know. It's weird. They're in a whole weird simulation video game type thing. And Bill's like, "Oh, is that the case?" And then she just sort of ceases to exist. She just sort of like disappears, like Nardole did. And then the Doctor's confronted by one of the monks, who's like, and he's talking to them. He sort of gets everything explained. The fact that the whole world's a simulation because these monks wanted to make a simulated world to see how they could mess around with people, you know, that sort of thing. I think it was like how they could take over the world. They wanted to practice taking over the world on a fake world, if that makes sense. Anyway, the Doctor records that whole conversation and emails himself with the sonic sunglasses. Emails himself in the real world, which I think is kind of weird. So him, not the computer version like Peter Capaldi is, the computer version just sort of dies, and the real version, standing right outside the vault, gets the email, and he's like, "Oh, I need to do this now," and then the episode sort of ends. It's a 3-parter, so the next one is the Pyramid at the End of the World, and that's going to continue on from this, with the monks. So it's quite a complicated story. I've tried to put it as simply as I could. That's what I understand of it so far. I've probably missed a lot of it out. Another main part, I said there's 2 storylines to this one. It's all about Missy as well. The Doctor was sent to execute Missy. She stands on a thing, and the Doctor, well, these people who perform this ritual where the Time Lord, it's Time Lord killer really. It stops both their hearts and executes all 3 of their brain cells, meaning that they can't actually regenerate and they just die. So the Doctor has to do that. The Doctor has to do that because it needs another Time Lord to do that, and obviously Time Lords aren't easy to come by these days, so the Doctor goes and Doctor goes and kills Missy. Or he doesn't, because he actually messes with the system, and he's actually like, well, he promised he'd look after Missy for 1,000 years inside a vault, and he never promised it dead. The people who are there wanted her to die and then be put in the vault, but the Doctor said, no, I'm not going to do that, I'm just going to stick her in a vault, and for 1,000 years. So that's the thing, pretty much. That's the basis of it. Missy is stuck in a vault for 1,000 years, and then the Doctor has to look after it with Nardole. That's it. That's who's in the vault. Missy's in the vault. And that's one thing I want to bring up. I'm a bit disappointed, actually. That was the one thing that really got me about this episode. I'm really disappointed that it ended up being Missy in the vault. It was really, really predictable, and I think they could have done something a lot cleverer with it. If they managed to do something with it and they make it a bit different, then go straight for it. Honestly, though, I think the reveal of her being in the vault wasn't too bad. Missy was really well handled in this episode. She wasn't in it. She wasn't a major part of it. You know, it could have been very convoluted if it showed her, like, getting executed, put in the vault, and then suddenly, halfway the episode, the vault doors open and she starts destroying the world or something. That would be stupid. But I like the fact that she was just in it, just sort of explain that she's in the vault and the Doctor needs her help. Which is funny, because that's what happens at the end of the episode. He goes, I need your help, Missy. I'm blind, I can't see, and I need help to save the world. And, yeah. Interesting, because she's not in the next episode. And there's a rumour she's going to be in Lie of the Land, which I think might be possible. But until then, it's the end of the series we're going to see her, so I don't know how that's going to work. Anyway, things I liked about this episode, things I didn't like. Wasn't a bit keen on the reveal of Missy being in the vault, but obviously, it turned out alright. They did a good job of it, and it was, it worked out in the end. Pretty much, there's not much else I didn't like. Obviously, it was a bit complicated, but Doctor Who needs to do something to impress me these days. Bill going on a date and then being stopped by the Pope walking in, I thought was quite funny. The use of the Pope in the Vatican wasn't explored enough, but I think it didn't have to be explored any more than it did. Nardole was really well handled in this episode. This is his second full adventure, and I actually am really starting to like him. His comedy's really well timed. The whole thing about having to explain to the Doctor what's happening whilst no one else knows the Doctor's blind, I think it's quite amusing, and I really like that. So we'll see how that goes on. But I think that was quite funny. The Doctor being blind, massive part of the story, but I really liked it still. The fact that they're continuing it, I think obviously my theory about the fact that it might regenerate in Lie of the Land, not fully regenerate, but whatever that thing was in the trailer where he sort of has regeneration energy coming off him, I think that's going to be him. That's going to be him getting his eyesight back, I think. Whatever it is, I think it's going to be resolved pretty soon. I like the idea of, I like the sonic sunglasses in this episode a lot, mainly because they weren't used as a sonic sunglasses. It sounds weird. He still used the sonic screwdriver as things, but and the sonic sunglasses were used to help him see. And I absolutely love the graphics on it. You can send emails and stuff, like, oh, it was great. He used this like weird Batman detective vision thing, where I could sort of like look at things and it would tell them like their heart rate, their age, their gender, which I thought was quite amusing. Actually, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I would like to see them make a return in the future when he can see, if he wears them. Like, that would have been great last series as a use for the sonic sunglasses, rather than the pointless use of them just being another sonic screwdriver, but not. I hated the fact that I just didn't like the Sonic sunglasses last series, but I'm really quite fond of them this series because they have a use. The Doctor sent himself an email at the end, and he put a kiss on the end. I loved that. It was to Doctor, save them from the Doctor kiss, and I thought that was that just made me laugh. Mainly, it just did, and I'm a big fan of it. But I was really fond of the sunglasses this episode, receiving emails, that sort of thing. Also, well done to the editor again. Whoever's editing Doctor Who at the minute is brilliant, because the editing effects with the whole computer glitching really fit in with the theme of the episode. The title sequence, when it finished, it was like Extremis, and then it glitched out, and then it started the episode. Like, it didn't really like fade out like the titles usually do. It glitched and then broke away. I really liked that. Nice different transition, and I think it worked really well for the episode. But not just that, I think it was just really quite clever. Bit of foreshadowing, nice one there. And I was really quite fond of that. I don't know really what else to say. I'm sort of rambling a bit because I really don't know what to say about this episode. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. 11 minutes now, Christ. I don't know what to say. I really, really quite enjoyed it. The Missy was handled really well. I've been going off Missy a bit, to be honest. But actually, she was great in this episode. She didn't need to do any more. It made me like burst out with laughter when she found out she was actually just alive and she was just trying to have a sleep. The line with that, she does perform it quite well, Michelle Gomez, and I'll be looking forward to seeing her for the rest of the series as well. I was praying to God that the bloke under the hood was going to be John Sim, but it wasn't. I think it's just like every character that we can't see his face, I'm like, it's John Sim. It's got to be John Sim. It's like, not John Sim. Stop it, George. Right. It was Nardole, and I think that was just quite funny. Anyway, there's not really much else to say. I really enjoyed Extremis. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, and I'm really, really happy that it came off as well as it did. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. There we go. Pretty good. I was mainly disappointed with the reveal of Missy being in the vault, and especially that it was done towards the beginning of the episode rather than the end. But, hey ho, it worked. They did it well, they pulled it off, and they just tried to move on with it. I like that, it's good. There better be some big reveal at the end of the series though, which I like. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure you leave a like, comment below for any more suggestions in the future, subscription if you haven't already, please got the brand new store, Twitch, oh Christ, that's an old one. The store, Facebook, Twitter, Team Inverse, Creative Collective, and Ace in the description below. See you guys next time. How's 2000? Ace out. Bye bye.